Hey everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to make Peppa Pig. So I've taken some red fondant and I'm just adding a little bit of Tylo powder just to firm it up a little bit. You could use red modelling paste if you want, it's just I didn't have any available when I tried to make this. So if you're using the Tylo, you just want to mix it in, making sure that you've got it completely mixed in and there's no lumps of the powder anywhere. And then once you've got that mixed in, you can work with it as normal. It just means that it will set a lot firmer than what fondant would. So if you roll a ball and then you're just going to put that into a bit of a cone at the top, chop the top off and pinch the bottom so that the bottom's going to be really nice and straight. Now I use a circle cutter, fairly small, and we're just going to cut out the top of the dress. So this is going to be Peppa's dress. I'm going to take out the top and then this is where the head is going to sit. So you can just smooth it over and then pop this to one side. We're going to work on her head and then we'll look at amending the side where it needs to fit in. So for the head, I'm just going to take some pink fondant and roll a ball. Take a little bit off that. And so we're going to roll the ball and then you're going to pinch just at one side, and this is going to make the nose. So I just twist it. The bit that we're twisting doesn't want to be in the middle. If you look at Peppa's face, the top bit is completely sort of like one level. There is no lump down or anything like that. So you need to make sure that that bit's straight. So you can see there, I just need to pull my dress out a little bit and that fits in perfectly. So you can make the nose a little bit longer. Use your thumb just to flatten one side. Peppa Pig is a 2D character, so obviously when you're making that in a fondant figure that's actually 3D, it can be quite difficult. But you can see we're looking to get the shape of the dress right and the head. So I'm just rolling out the dress a little bit more just to make it a bit wider. And then just checking against the picture that I've got. Once you're happy with the shape of the dress, we're going to just leave that to dry and we're just going to work on some of the other features. So we're going to roll quite a thin piece of fondant in the pink and then we're going to twist it, and this is just going to be her tail. Now you want to leave quite a bit of a length at the base because this is going to stick into the dress when we put everything together. So there's the tail, and then we're going to do the eye holes. So just with a small ball tool, you're just going to put in the eye holes, and then we're just going to put in the mouth. So just pressing quite lightly, and then that way if you make a mistake you can re-go over it. So I'm just smoothing over because I don't want sort of like a lip area where it's separated, where the fondant is going to bulge. Next we're going to do the ears. So we're just rolling out a piece of fondant into a sausage and then squashing it and then cutting that in half, and that's going to become her ears. So we're just going to put them where they should be, and then that way you can gauge whether it's looking like Peppa or not. So next we're going to do the arms. So again with your pink fondant, you're just going to roll a sausage shape and you're going to cut some off for her arms. So the arms are quite thin, you'll notice on Peppa. Try to get them both the same thickness and length. And the bit that we've cut with the knife, that's the bit that we're just going to squash down just lightly, and that's going to make her hands. Now for the hands, they're not very detailed, they're just, she tends to have 3 sort of little sticks that come out, so I'm just going to cut out some triangles so we've got the 3 fingers that she has. Pop that in place and then do the same with the other one. The reason that we're not sticking it together straight away is you want to give these pieces a little bit of time just to firm up, so that when you stick it together, the arms are not going to flop down, and everything's going to stick together well. So we're going to do Peppa Pig in some wellies. So I've just got some yellow fondant, and we're going to roll a bit of a fat sausage and then fold that to make an L shape, and that's going to be the welly. Now I just use my knife just to sharpen up the sides to make sure that they're straight. And then we'll just do the other welly just to get them both roughly the same size. So again, a fat sausage and then fold it to make an L shape. And then we're just going to trim down the sides and the bottom just to give it a bit more definition, just to make it a bit more neat. So again, this is modelling paste that I'm using for the wellies. You can use normal fondant just with Tyler if you want to. You do need to allow these a little bit of time just to firm up, because obviously they are going to hold the weight of everything else on the top as well. So just making sure that they're roughly the same size and shape. So put that to one side, and now we're just going to do the eyes. So just tiny little white bits of fondant, just going to pop those in with a little bit of water. And then the pupils will be the same again, but in black. I always struggle to get really small pieces off, so I just tend to cut it with a knife. You could do this with paint if you wanted. I just find it easier to do it with the fondant because you can move them into place until you're happy with the position. So just flatten them down with your finger and add a little bit of water and stick them on in the middle. You could use edible glue if you wanted. I just prefer to work with water, it works in the same way. So next we're going to do the nose detail. You see I'm just pushing those into the right position. So we're going to take a small balling tool and you're just going to create the two holes for the snout. And then taking just some of the red and adding it to the pink just to make it a little bit darker. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a circle of pink for the blush on Peppa's cheek, and then we're going to do the snout detail. So if you ever look at a picture of Peppa Pig, she's sort of always got a bit of a dark outlining around the nose, and so we're just going to do that. So just a small blob of pink and a little bit of water just to stick it down. You could do the same figure and put Peppa in shoes if you wanted. You would just need to do pink legs and then little black shoes on the bottom. So just a tiny bit of paste just for around the nose. So just rolling it into a really thin sausage and then pushing it into shape and trimming off the excess. Trying to get the bit that overlaps just to be really small because you don't want to see it too much. And then a little bit of water just in the holes for the snout, and then we're just going to put these little bits of fondant in there. So that's what you should have so far. And now what we need to do is insert some cocktail sticks. I've got a small dummy and I'm going to use one cocktail stick for each foot, and I'm going to put it in through the wellies first and then put that into the dummy. Now these want to go sort of up the middle of the dress really, but not out of the shoulders, so you just need to be really careful that you've pushed it far enough down that when you pop the dress on it's not going to come up the sides. So just pushing the dress on And then we're going to put in the details like the tail. So I'm just using the back of my brush just to poke a hole in and then popping the tail inside. And we're going to do the same process for the arms. It's easier to do it this way because obviously the arm or the tail is inserted into something, and it just makes it easier to keep it in. If you was going to do it actually on the outside, it would just take forever to dry and you would have to prop it up the whole time. So you can see it's just coming together quite nicely. A little bit of water just to the collar of the dress that would attach the face on. You can, if you want, insert a cocktail stick, and then you're just going to stick the ears onto the top as normal. So you can see here it is once it was finished. I hope you liked today's video. If you have, please hit the thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see any more of my videos, please click the links on the screen now. Thank you.